soul was hurt, or restless with being tied that kept the feet dancing and the fingers flexed, forming fists, the ones our teeth whistled with and spit blood at. A locked up peck that soul who would once be coming free breaks the back of its magician stepfather. The rage there is spinning reflex now, straightening the ocean gaze of wooden Hong Kong ships, the sails of which made the flap like dragon's wings, its roar a compression of howlers that roll onward below, or maybe, I know what it was, man. It was that 33rd sword scratch that Christian called the sirens, the bone gyrations of underdogs and drowns them. The blood there that you found with your fist through ice bricks, your children's faces there with those drugs. They said you should have died kicking in grizzly teeth, defying the stage wires of the 1980s, giving Tyson the old roundabout Ali treadmill jazz music, your feet tapping at the four corners, your eyelids still, so still, or gone out with a saintly smackdown, found in a Beijing outskirt with a bullet in the brain, a nail-bit remark spread among the karate clones and petrified street fighters who aimed at you with staffs and legs, the guns they held, the scratching that you heard on the other side of your family's hedges during lunch, those fights in that huge backyard. Brother, you were too much James Dean, too much badass yellow stripes, Lao wisdom tattoos that held back your speeding shoulders, and even after you became your father, the shadow that he cast into the sand wasn't long enough to kick Chuck Norris's ass the way you were trained to do or make white America snarl at the snacks. You made Jim Kelly from Enter the Dragon say, brother, you come straight out of a comic book, and after that you initial contracts with the same unfathomed goddamn, the fingers of blood of the American born changing its shade. You were summoned by that same sweet sound that cowboys stoop down to get drawn by, fighting at wild birds. The desert moonlight was bliss to you, Bruce, but lonely, and it was because of fear. The old rustle, the bamboo trees, your parents dressing you in girls' clothes to confuse the sex-blind gods. The kung fu cries that shattered Kareem's ears were summoned by fright. The camera close-up eye wipes and door latch sounds. The Japanese in their black apron kimonos approaching you from all sides like you were an army. The nunchucks at your hip, ready to squeal and snap at the shoulder. And I remember those bullet sounds, Bruce, that rung the flick's credits and the shaking of sweaty hands like movie patron claps or Chinese restaurant cleavers or backstage Hong Kong whores, all of them fiendish. They weren't even a weakness to you, just somewhere to lay your head at. But why, Bruce, how did you die with all the chest tears and Michael Jackson, white socks, the cops in the street searching for an escaped Bruce Lee after you were declared dead? This is not just American badass, man. I don't even know what you are, but your heart never stopped. The making of it was scientific. Your eyelids are not human, but reaching upward like ocean tides, avoiding the quicksand of Roman alley streets with these big Italian guys speaking Chinese. You jumped higher than you had to, bending your knees to your chest, making the joints bulge between bones. And your feet, they felt like stones on Jackie Chan's face, helping the stuntman remember the one time in his entire career when he got knocked unconscious. And you mean to tell me you don't know what Chinese spare ribs are, brother? Here, man, let me show you. The whole philosophy was sculpted with finishing moves and Winnie the Pooh Taoism. Anyone who felt that pussy lost their nutsacks trying to dodge a chokehold. The fight scenes were freaking awesome, and even when you got split with a Tybalt sword, you fingered the wound and lifted your own blood like it was candy. I think what you tasted was your own immortality, and it sickens you, even after Warner Brothers gave you a movie budget and a blonde wife, or maybe it was that condensation that got your soul untied in the first place, transforming flesh to puddle, the confusion fashioned on Master Suzuki's wrinkled face, finding himself unable to kick box a punch bowl. The Ed Sullivan chuckle, be water, my friend, be water. This leaves me guessing whether to remember you on rainy days, since you lived your life as ice, not dead now, but streaming between sedimentary rocks and California ponds, your own human figure of magician's fog, you're kicking thunder, tears, hail, foes drowned with typhoons and hurricanes, and they say that you dropped like you were some old man making your children cry, your wife holding your human head in her hands, drunk with bracelets and champagne, and they say that you dropped or OD'd off some experimental steroid drugs or got assassinated by the Chinese triad gangs. They say that you dropped, Bruce, but I've seen all your flicks, and I watched that last kick, and dudes, you flew.